Hey, and welcome back, everyone, to day 4 of the Reflective Journaling Challenge. I'm glad that you're sticking with us. We're almost at the end, day 4, and I hope that yesterday you were able to get some clarity and really see if you're numbing emotions and feelings, and hopefully you can put a plan together, begin to put a plan in place if that is something that you noticed within yourself over this past year. But we're going to keep moving forward in this, in a vein similar to this. And today we're going to talk about fear. Everyone's favorite topic, fear. In 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So we know that God does not want us to walk around fearful, but the reality is there are things that we encounter, there are experiences and situations that we are in that we're fearful, we are afraid of. And so today's prompt is very simple. One simple question. What am I really afraid of? What am I really afraid of? Many of you know that I have a background in clinical psychology. I was working towards a master's in clinical psychology, and one of the things that they would teach us as you're training to be a therapist is people will present with one issue, but there's really a deeper issue. There's a deeper problem that is really affecting many areas of their life. So they may present with, I'm having challenges with my roommates, or I'm having relationship problems, or I'm having problems on my job, but underlying there's something deeper. And fear many times works the same way. We can be afraid of something, but there's a deeper fear. There's something underneath that. And if we can reflect and be still and kind of get to what's at the heart, at the core, that is what we then take to God and really say, God, I need healing here. I need help here to deal with this, deeper issue. And so this journaling prompt, I want you to really kind of think and begin to delve deep. But I'm going to share with you something that, I learned when I was working on my master's in clinical psych. And so we would ask the same question over and over and over again to kind of keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper. So here's an example. If you had a client that came to you and said, man, I'm having problems with my roommates. I really would like to be apart and, kind of feel like we're developing some friendships, but they constantly do activities without me. So you would ask, okay, so what does that mean? What do you think that means when they go out to eat or when they do other activities, they watch movies and they don't include you? What does that mean? And so they would usually answer something along the lines of, they don't like me. So then you ask, so what does that mean? What does that mean to you for them to not like you? And, they could respond with, well, that means that something's wrong with me. And again, this is all, hypothetical. Something's wrong with me, where they don't like me. So what does that mean? That something's wrong with you. And then, it means that I have challenges creating friends. I have challenges making close friends, or I'll never have close friends. So then it's like, so what does that say about you? What does that mean about you? And it means that, I have problems with relationships. And then, what does that mean? And, it can land to, well, something is wrong with me. I'm unlovable. Something is not right. Something's off. And this is the fear. So at the core, of this is something's wrong with me. There's something not right. I'm unlovable. There's something off. And so then in therapy, we would begin to address that bigger issue, not so much focusing on the roommates. I mean, you deal with the roommates, but you also want to help them with this core issue that something is wrong with me or I'm unlovable, because chances are that's popping up and manifesting in other areas of their lives. So I kind of want you to not so much, go this deep. I don't want you all to land on, I'm unlovable and something's wrong with me. But I think it is worth looking at the fears that you have encountered this year and really digging and seeing, is there something underneath it? What I thought was a fear in this one area is really triggering and connecting to another fear. So I'll give you an example from my life. I live alone, I'm single. And so when we first had to start quarantining and really, just social distancing and not being able to go out and things being shut down, that was very challenging for me. And on the surface level, it was challenging for everybody. Even if you lived with people, you're stuck with the same people all day, every day. You can't go away from them. You can't go to work or send the kids to school or go to the gym or go to the spa or travel. You're stuck in the house with the people. But where this was kind of triggering for me was it was beginning to tap into some of my own insecurities about being in my mid 30s and still being single. And, dealing with my own questions and issues of what's wrong with me? Why am I not single? And this was triggering for me because now I'm isolated in this house by myself. And I'm like, well, if I wanted to date somebody, how am I going to date somebody? How am I going to meet somebody? Now I can't. I'm stuck in the house. And so it kept bringing up all of these issues of feeling like I'm going to be alone forever. Something is wrong with me. Why can't, I find somebody? And so, where I was in, a better place, these are not like surface level issues and questions that I'm asking all the time, but this fear that I had of, I don't want to be in the house, this dread, I as I started to pause and really think about it, it was connecting to some deeper fear, some deeper issues. And that's what I had to turn over to God. Yes, COVID is scary and this and that, but it was triggering other things that weren't connected to COVID, that weren't connected to the election, that weren't connected to, some of the big, things that were happening this past year in our country. It was dealing with some personal fears, some personal issues and challenges that I had. And I had to really be still and reflect. And once I began to address those issues, then I began to, pray differently and study differently and be able to handle and function being alone by myself in the house for long periods of time and it not being triggering for me. So I hope that this is kind of making sense what I'm really trying to get at with this particular prompt. What am I really scared of? What am I really afraid of? Because God wants to go into those places and those spaces in our lives. He wants to deal with everything, every aspect, some of the more surface problems, but he also wants to get to the deeper problems, because God doesn't want us to have a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and love and a sound mind. And what I needed was a spirit of love and a sound mind, not to live in this space of, I'm afraid I'm going to be single forever, and really letting God in to work with me, with that particular issue, because being by myself so much this year just triggered, all of that. It's kind of like my worst nightmare, not being able to be around people and to go to people and, hang out and spend time with the people that I love and I care about, being separated from my members for months. There's members I have not seen all year, members I have not seen for 9 months, so that all of that really hit on my own, connection and relationship challenges and insecurities. And so that was what I was really afraid of, being alone forever, not so much just quarantining. So take some time, pause, reflect. What are you really afraid of? See what were the things that really triggered you? What were the things that just kind of sent your pulse racing and got your blood pressure elevated? And begin to see, okay, how can I let God in that space? How can I let God meet that need? How can I pray and surrender this issue to him so he can come in and give me, in exchange for fear, give me a spirit of power and love and a sound mind, not an anxious, worried, fretful mind, a sound mind. So I hope that this is clear. I hope that this encourages you to take some time, definitely lean in prayer as you write this prompt today, and know that whatever it is that you are afraid of, that God is there with you to help you overcome that fear, because he doesn't want you to have a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and love and a sound mind. Be blessed today, and I will see you again tomorrow for day 5. We finally reached the end, but it'll be a good one. Until tomorrow, take care.